Welcome back. See, I'm back quickly this time. So first of all, I quit my old job. So I have been finding more time for self-care, more time for kind of just getting back to me. Like, I feel like I was just working a lot, and I wasn't, when you're putting out a lot, it's like you're not taking time to connect with it. When you spend too much time in the external, working on things, then your internal starts to suffer. And I think it's kind of like a direct reflection of like when you are working a lot, like things in your home start to get dwindled, or like your tasks are falling by the wayside, and this is like directly reflecting the fact that you're not able to connect internally more often. So I quit the bakery, and I also didn't even realize like how much sugar I was eating because I was there. So it's very interesting because I feel like I've already been feeling like I'm losing more weight, and like the sugar, it's just so different. Like I don't even really buy sweet things, so I only had them in from that job, from like the extra stuff we would get. And it's so crazy because I just guess I didn't even realize how much sugar was affecting me, how much I was eating. So I'm really excited because I've been really focused on my health, and this is really helping me a lot, and I'm feeling better, I'm feeling creative. So yeah. Gemini, I noticed in my last video I started talking about Gemini season, and then I kind of went into the solstice. So Gemini season is fun because of the air signs. Now this is the air sign of the twins, right? So two different personalities coming together. So it's kind of like, yeah, you don't know what you're going to get. And I feel like with Gemini, reminds me a little of that Hermes energy, a little mischievous. I honestly love Hermes because Hermes is like Loki, right? Like the mischievous, like chaotic, like archetype. And but he does it in like this pure way that kind of like disrupts things, but he doesn't get like reprimanded from it because it's more out of curiosity to see what you're going to do. Now Hermes is Mercury. Mercury is also like a soul guide. So if you want to, and he's also air energy. So if you're trying to connect in with Hermes or Mercury about your path, I highly recommend doing so during Gemini season. You can probably tap in a lot easier. Okay, so let's see what this card thought. So third eye chakra, mindfulness. I am aware of my thoughts, and I ask myself, are they uplifting and are they true? I do this because I know that my thoughts significantly affect my mental, emotional, and physical health, and because I know that my body believes everything that I believe. When you're in a state of defense, when you're always thinking about how people are thinking of you, looking at you, if you're always focused on others and what they're trying to do to you, or thinking that they're trying to do something to you, be paranoid about it, something like that, then you're going to be in a constant state of anxiety, of tension, of defense, and you're not going to be feeling safe. And in not feeling safe and regulated, then you can't get those messages from the divine. So make sure you're being very present and focused on you and your journey. Like, it's easy to get caught up. And I'm not saying like don't look outside of yourself, because there's so much like things that we can use in order to look within ourselves. When I work with the archetypes, it's not me giving my power away to them. It's me seeing myself in them, asking them to help a part of me, a thread within me, by working with them. So it always comes back to me. It's not about worshiping something outside of yourself. It's about communing with something that already lives within you, and then this is the external manifestation of it, which you could do basically with anything. But you just have to really be self-focused. A lot of times reminiscing on just like the things that you've gone through help to kind of get those lessons stacked and for you to see how far you've come. Like, I remember when I had social anxiety, and it felt crazy to talk to people, and like it's so crazy how far I've come, because I was actually watching some of my old videos and I was like, wow, actually, yeah, I remember feeling like that way, but man, I don't feel that way at all anymore. And it's really a good thing when you're starting to feel maybe a little bit inadequate about yourself, because then you can go back and see, like, oh, you know what? Even if I feel like I'm going backwards, I can see that I'm not. I've been going forwards this entire time. I am not in control of all situations that come my way, nor am I in control of what others do and say. However, I do have free will as to how I respond. So there's a thing that happens in the spiritual community where we believe we can control our reality. And it's not that we can't influence it, because we can. We are powerful manifestors. We do have influence. But ultimately, if it's not aligned with your soul path, you will be rerouted and it will not stick around. So to know that there is something higher, there is a bigger plan, a bigger purpose, a higher self, a divine will to surrender to, and just making sure that when you are trying to influence your reality, you are doing it for your highest good, and you are asking, please make sure if this is not for my highest good, it doesn't stick around, because you don't want to be wasting time going off of the path, because Spirit's really going to keep you aligned if you ask to, and if you ask to come, into that, I don't need to control. I'm going to give the control over to you. However, I'm going to ask for some sort of influence when I feel that things aren't right, and if that is in alignment with what my purpose is, it will be executed. And that happens perfectly, and then it gets to a point where it's like you don't even get to really go off course anymore, because Spirit just kind of puts you like, it's like, oh, no, it's like a herding sheep, like, nope, keep going, keep in line, you're not going that way. I choose to respond to all situations from an enlightened position rather than just reacting. So what I was thinking earlier is this. We always want to take things personally. But what about this? We're just all acting from different programming. It's like this. If somebody says something that makes you feel small or belittled, okay? Somebody's like just kind of like talking shit. But because of how they grew up and maybe like, the relationships they had, like their talking shit is a form of endearment. Like that's how they connect with people. And then the other person's programming is that they're too sensitive, so that when you talk shit to them, they take it personally. Now they feel offended by you. These are just two people who are programmed differently, and their energies don't like mesh together. Instead, they are triggering. And it's not personal, because these two people probably acted this way towards everybody. But we come and we are like, oh, we need to take this so personally. So I think instead of, we should take out all the connotation of it and just like really look at people for just how they are. For instance, if you're dealing with someone who's been in jail or in prison, they may be excessively wanting to follow the rules because they have been reprimanded before. Now that's a trauma, and they don't want to have to do something like this again. For me, it's just like I feel like I'm always seeing more to the situation, so I don't really have any judgments of people anymore. And I understand that everybody goes through their things for a reason, and they're going to be in the spot that they need to be, and the reason that they went through all these things is because of where they are or whatever, and that's, it's none of my business, basically. But I will be mindful of how I react towards others, and I have gotten to a place where I feel like I don't really react too much. I'll pull back and I'll introspect, and then I can let it go, because it's always it's always about you. At the end of the day, it's always going to be about you and what's going on internally. And also, like, the perfectionist thing, like, when you're expecting everybody to be perfectly in sync with you, aligned with you, it's just another way of perfectionism trying to get in the door. I need everyone to be like a certain way for me to accept them, or I can't be around them, that is giving your power away to them because you're afraid of being around them, saying that they're going to affect you. And also that, you know, that you're just, there's no unconditional love. It's very conditional, it's judgmental, and that's probably because that's what you're doing to yourself. You're probably being hard on yourself. I think we should just all let go. We should all just treat people kindly, and unless you're going to be in a really serious relationship, like, or friendship or with someone, we don't really need to, like, hold them to such high standards if we're just having a normal conversation with them, you know? I think that that's one of the biggest things that keep us away from each other's judgment. Especially, like, social statuses and class, right? People who with high class, they look down on lower class people, but lower class people, they have this ability to live in the moment and to be happy if they have accepted where they're at, and they're not looking to be perfect. They're just being them. So while we have, on the other hand, the higher class with the expectations, with that they were grown into a society where they have to wear the mask, and a lot of times, a lot of them, if they didn't act in accordance, they would get cut off financially. So then there's fear of validation. So they never were able to, fear of lack. So they were never able to learn to be themselves and live authentically. Instead, they just live in fear, and that's what it comes down to. People's behavior is fear. Like, a lot of times that's what it's driven by. And when we notice this is how the world is programmed, then we can be more unconditional and understand, like, some people, they're just not awake. Their spark is not lit. They're living in programming. They're living in the unconscious, and it's for them. That's what they're doing right now, and it's for them to figure it out, and it's for you to accept, understand, and move ahead with your own life and focus on yourself and don't worry about them. So the Spirit Ally card we have today is the Tiger's Eye. I connect with my roots so that I may heal. With reflective stripes that glimmer in the sun, this golden brown stone is a bridge to connect you with the earth. Tiger's Eye can help to promote clarity, dispel anxiety, and bring you good luck. Connecting with the root chakra, Tiger's Eye is a stone that encourages grounding and connecting with your roots, both ancestrally and out in nature. Whether you are directly familiar with your ancestors or not, you can connect with them in meditation and the dream world. You were born within this lifetime to heal and connect with your highest self. But in order to do that, there can be a lot of deep work to do on healing the root causes, ancestrally and out in nature. Whether you are directly familiar with your ancestors or not, you can connect with them in meditation and the dream world. You were born within this lifetime to heal and connect with your highest self, but in order to do that, there can be a lot of deep work to do on healing the root causes and issues around ancestral wounds in your lineage. Allow nature to be your companion on your journey and take time to connect with the trees, the flowers, the dirt beneath your feet. Welcome the life force of the planet that's always available to support you. What can I learn about myself by looking at the patterns of my lineage? Look at your immediate family and look at, patternings in relationships, patternings in personal dynamics. Is there addictions? Is there codependency in other ways, maybe financially? Is there expectation, like I talked, like if you're a higher class person, is there expectations on how you need to be, who you're expected to be, and now you've put judgment and perfectionism on. The mindfulness card makes sense now because I feel like you need to get grounded so that you can heal this. And I do feel that in order to get grounded, you're going to need to be focusing on yourself, on tangible things. What am I touching? What am I feeling? What am I seeing? I'm here in the present moment. Let go of resistance. Because every time you're trying to be in the future or somewhere that you're not in the present, you're in resistance. And when you're reflecting on the past, you can be in the present and be reflecting on the past for your highest good without resistance. But as soon as discomfort comes up, that's something you should look at, because that means that that's something that is still causing an emotional reaction within your body that needs to be healed. That's a root cause, a root issue. What happened in childhood that makes you feel this way, that you don't want to be conscious to it? There's a lot of atrocities in this world. What makes you not want to be conscious to those atrocities? It's unconsciousness, it's darkness, it's not pretty. But the more that you can become conscious with every single aspect of the good, the bad, all of it, the more that you heal your divine masculine consciousness. And you're able to hold more for people when they come to you, you know, like, because if you're like me and you're meant to be a healer, then when people come to you with their traumas of their atrocities and what's happened to them, you're going to need to be able to not let it affect you emotionally, and to help them just to know, you know, like, you have to listen. You cannot block it out. Okay, we're getting into it. So we start here today. Your theme is the Ten of Pentacles. This is about your comfort, your stability. This is about what you've built. And with it, we have the Two of Spears and the Ace of Spears, which means that you're moving away from what you've built. You're moving away from the foundation that you have in place into a passionate new beginning. Now, in the recent past, you have felt burdened by yourself and the mistakes you've made. You're feeling very burdened over your mistakes. But the funny thing is, I see that it's like this. Very aware. Okay, so it's like, I feel like there's this energy of you just doing what you want and then being like, wow. Okay, so you're moving to a new beginning in love. You're going after emotional fulfillment, whether this be a person or your own career journey. This is the part of the theme about the passionate new beginning, that you're moving away from comfort into your passionate new beginning, and it's directly connected to love. And love can be love for self, love for helping humanity, love for another person. In the past, like I said, you started looking at your burdens and you said, I'm not doing the right thing. I'm not showing up the way that I want to. I planted white roses when I know that they're supposed to be red, right? For some reason, you were just acting out of, okay, that's what it was. You're acting out of impulse. Now you're taking a seat, or you were in the recent past, and you're looking at how things have been going, and you're planning to fix it. You're to go in a different direction, the right direction for you. And I don't feel guilt and shame around this. I feel that you're content with it, and I feel that you're content with your mistakes as well, because I feel like you decided, like, I'm glad that this happened, because now I know my dark side. I can learn to harness my dark side and use it appropriately when I need to. And now I'm going to use it to drive me forward into what I want as well, which is to make things right and to go in this new direction. Beautiful. Now, in your present moment, so this was just the recent past. Now, in your present, it's like you're actually bossing up and doing that. Exactly what the fuck you said you're going to do. You're putting your masculine energy into gear to go after what you're passionate about, and in the process become a new version of yourself. You said, I'm done resisting the transformation. I'm ready to take it on. In fact, bring it on. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but let's do it, because I'm sick of feeling imbalanced. And so Spirit's bringing, it's beautiful energy. Spirit's bringing this in for you, like, yes, that's what this makes sense. Spirit's not going to allow you to veer off the path anymore. You've already chosen, you have chosen inside. So Spirit's doing work behind the scenes and bringing injustice and bringing injustice to an end. You have been in these bad situations, I feel, and with people, places, things, and it doesn't have to be like so like dramatically bad. It's just like toxic, And toxicity doesn't always have to be loud, because it can also be covert. You're learning to say no to what no longer serves you. And in the near future, I have the Ten of Swords reversed. This talks about recovering from something. You're saying no to whatever it was that was hurting you. And you've taken upon yourself to end that thing. And now that you have, your new beginning's going to really come in quickly. The Fool with the Chariot, that's like, as soon as you passed the test and said no, that was the test, Spirit said, okay, let's move forward then. That's it. Graduation, you've graduated. And it's quite beautiful. It's either that or you're resisting an ending, but I don't think so, because look, you're walking away from materialism. You're walking away from the comfort and stability that you've built, and the greed and the overconsumption and all those things. That's what I felt with the Four of Pentacles, that maybe you were over-consuming material things, and now you feel, no, I need to recover from this, and I need to learn to be with myself and to work through things by myself. That's freaking beautiful, honestly. I love that for you. So let's talk about the best course of action. The best course of action is to keep working and chipping away towards your emotional fulfillment. The Ten of Teacups, this is very much about your emotional fulfillment. What's going to fill your cup up in your heart space. And you know what it is because you've already been working towards it. So Spirit says just keep doing that because you're so close. You're leaving behind karmic situations, or that's the best course of action. It's to leave behind the things that don't fulfill you emotionally, right? The outside influences is that either somebody doesn't want you to have your new beginning in love, in emotional beginning, or you are afraid of rejection. And what's happening here is that this is coming up and out for you so that it can be rectified within you so that you can have your new beginning. But either way, the outside influence is in fact your new beginning in love. The Ace of Cups again. And the truth. So the truth is you're knowing what makes you feel left out in the cold, and you're knowing what makes you feel abandoned, and you're knowing what makes you feel less than, and you're done with it. You found out the real truth about it, and you're going in a new direction. You're sick of it. You're done. You're tired. I'm tired and bored of this fucking shit. That's like how I feel that you feel. And your hope is that you're just going to be able to sail away smoothly. Spirit's going to spin the wheel of fate for you, and then you get your wish. Like, that's it. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. And what you fear... Wait, hold on. Yeah. You that emotional fulfillment, partnership, true love, that's what you hope. And you fear that you're going to be alone after this tower, that you have to work really hard by yourself, and you're going to stay stuck and trapped forever alone. But that's not going to happen, because I could see here the overall possible outcome. The overall possible outcome is that you get your happy ending. You get what you want with the new beginning. See, this is full circle. This is, do you know how many aces are out here? Like, it's insane. It's passionate, stable, and emotionally fulfilling. And it's free of ego. It's free of pride, because I feel like there is someone that's trying to keep you confused, keep you small. Because here we have the Queen of Spears yelling, keeping someone small, putting them down with the Seven of Cups, keeping them in confusion, in their ego. This could be energetic manipulation. Yeah, as High Priestess is on the bottom. Somebody could be really trying to gaslight you, make you feel some type of way. Somebody you've been committed to because they don't want you to leave. You know how weird it is to me that people play these weird games? Okay, people don't want you to leave, but they play weird games and act weird, and then you leave. The same shit that they're doing to try to keep you is the reason why you leave. Instead of them just being genuinely loving, open, and honest, because that's what would have kept you around. That's what would have kept you committed. But the fact of the matter is that your heart's not in it, and you're no longer in it. You've been emotionally checked out with the High Priestess in reverse here. Yeah. You have intuitively known that this situation is stalled out, and you have a new wish. And you feel bad about having a new wish, I feel like. You're kind of putting yourself down, but you're also, because you feel guilty, you're being harsh as well. A little bit judgmental. Maybe because it's not what you want, but that's okay that it's not what you want. You don't have to judge it. It's just that you've outgrown it. It was what you wanted, and this person or these people, even if they're being rude and trying to make you small and things like that, it's because they hate themselves and they feel small, and they feel like they need you because you have the light and they know your potential, but they're trying to keep you small so that you never reach it, and you become greedy and you become reverse, so creative chakra blocked, and that you never get your wish. But you know this. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, because you have the High Priestess 2 times out. You know. It's like you're getting in touch with your subconscious somehow, and you're balancing these feelings that you've been pushing down for the most part. So I think that for a long time you didn't want to see this. But now it's come to a point where you're just so unhappy, you're so emotionally unfulfilled that you feel that you're not alive anymore, like you're lacking in aliveness, so you don't have any other choice but to make this move. Which I completely get that, and I encourage you to, because the point of this life is being alive and experiencing all the beautiful things with beautiful people. We can have everything that we want, but if we don't have the right people around us, then what does that even mean, you know? It's just going to be sad. And as somebody, it's not always, as somebody who has absolutely done so many things by herself, it's not about, like, you can have fun alone, 100%. But it's always different when you have someone to experience it with, I feel like. When it's pure, and you know what pure love is versus toxic love. Is somebody belittling you? Is somebody abusing you? Abuse comes in many forms. Verbal, mental, gaslighting, making you feel bad about things, making you feel bad about yourself. Do not let people abuse you. If they do, walk away. So this is what I mean. You're very aware of this. You know that this energy has been competitive towards you. You know that they're not of equal give and take, and in fact, they're trying to take more than they give, and they are jealous of you, they're combative, and they don't want you to have balance in your life, but you want to have balance, so you have been taking the steps to care for yourself and love on yourself in the way that other people don't, because you know that unless you know, if you don't love on yourself, you're not going to get a reflection of people loving you back. If you're judgmental of yourself, you're just going to get a reflection of people judging you back. And I think that you're catching on here to exactly how this reality is working, because now we have the Knight of Cups with the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Sun, and you're super clear on what has been making you confused, what has been keeping you in a state of, I don't know what to decide, I'm clouded, I'm foggy, I can't decide. It's your wound, and somebody has been maybe playing off of your wound, manipulating you through your wound, but you have gained clarity and insight on this, and because of that, you're moving into your heart's true direction towards a new opportunity here with another person. I think you're maybe a little bit afraid and withholding communication because you're afraid of loss. You're afraid of investing or pouring your heart out and you getting no, and then you being trapped even further more in depression and you can't see anything good. Here I see that, but I don't actually. Fear is fear. We work through it. It just doesn't. I know I'm not saying that your fears are not real. They are. I just don't see in my mind's eye that situation ends up happening. I know rejection is scary, but you're becoming balanced. Whatever's going on subconsciously is balancing you out, and you're changing your perspective on weakness. You're not feeling that weakness and sensitivity and empathy are weak anymore. This is something that used to keep you trapped and isolated. You didn't want to walk around with your heart open because you didn't want people to hurt you, but now you've taken your power away from them so that they can't hurt you. So you're ready to invest in things that are going to give back to you, because I feel like you have had a lot of temptations, but this is for your highest good. You've learned spiritual lessons about defending yourself from predators, from things that are going to drain you, from things that look and feel good but are actually the devil in disguise, calling you away. If it's confusing to you, then it is not divine. But if it is clear, but also you got to remember what state you're in. If you're in a confused state, then divine things are going to feel confusing to you. When you're in devil energy, the devil will literally whisper into your ear that your divine blessing is toxic. So this is why you need to have your third eye open, be aware, and understand that the clearer you are, the more that you understand, you can feel in your heart what your heart wants. And that even if that thing doesn't last forever, it's just a chapter, it's going to teach you a lesson. So that is just beautiful. I'm going to get a couple oracles. One, two, duality. Within you are shadows of dark and beams of light. The divine is reminding you to embrace the duality that is your individual spark. The spark is being ignited and is ready to illuminate the path ahead. I fully embrace who I am and I allow change where it is needed. I trust duality within me. Sometimes that means being mean. Sometimes that means not people pleasing or, doing what everyone expects you to do. The dark in you, the shadow in you is there to help you along your path, especially because this world will push you around and tell you who you are until you push back and say, no, this is who I am and this is what I want. Then otherwise you'll be living on their timing, their expectation. Yeah, you're about to launch off onto a spiritual adventure. Whatever you've done has shifted you timelines, and you're becoming very inspired along this way. You're ready. It's just internally, you're ready for something new. You're ready to experience new things. You're ready to get educated on how reality works, the spiritual concepts, things like that. And I think the funny thing is, it's like, the reality check that you're having is like the real awakening and not the reality check of the 3D. Your heart is opening wide and it's time to leave the paradigm that you have currently been in. And Spirit is backing you 100%. I think this is so lovely to hear. I did not, because we did that other one yesterday that was like you're in between, was it yesterday, a couple days ago? You're in between the crossroads, but you've chosen the road. The road is chosen regardless of whether it's manifested externally. Your heart's already chosen, so now just let go and watch it play out. Let's get Dragon Wisdom. Your gifts, exactly. This is what I mean. You have Merlin and your gifts. When you step on, you have stepped. You're stepping. Just keep going in that direction. Along the path, your gifts will be illuminated. You will be every time that you work with your gifts, you're going to, it's like a muscle, you're going to build it, and then more things are going to come, and you're going to keep leveling up, you're going to keep leveling up, and as you keep leveling up, you're going to find your soul family. But the way to do this is to remain grateful regardless of anything. If something's taken away from you, remain grateful that God has kept you safe from that, because rejection is God's protection. You have so much wisdom inside you that's going to help the world, and God is ready for you to be using that, utilizing that. Also, the spirit guides are very proud of you, because you've been through so much and you're still willing to try to be better. You're still willing to try to take the next step into becoming somebody that you haven't been before, because you're not going to allow discomfort and disharmony to take over your life, because that's what people want from you, and it takes a really strong person for that to occur in. A lot of people don't give a fuck. They'll sabotage their own lives and just be drinking and drugging and living in the world that they don't want to live in, cheating, drinking, drugging, and being unhappy, to where their soul just shuts down and that spark goes out. And it's sad to see. But I feel like you're not going to allow this to happen to yourself, which is very, very beautiful. And the last card we have here is from the angels and the ancestors. Earth Mother and the Warrior. So get grounded. Like I said, grounding is going to be perfect. Ask Earth Mother, Gaia, to nurture you, to bring you into harmony. Get out in nature so that you can get your equilibrium and nervous system balanced, because when you're ungrounded, that is when fear can creep in and anxiety can creep in, and that keeps you ungrounded, that keeps you in your head. So you want to try to be in your body and in the present moment, observing what's happening here and now as much as you can. Like I said, so you can do your work of reflecting on the past, but don't stay there all day. Take an hour, take X amount of time, but make sure you're filling up each area. So you're having some downtime. You're also spending time disciplined, doing something that's going to help you become healthier. And you're standing up for yourself, because we have the Warrior. The Warrior is heart-led. I'm standing up for myself. I'm protecting myself by not allowing people who abuse me to be around me, not, overindulging in things, not abandoning myself for others, and yeah, you're in the unknown right now, but you've already decided. So you're in this it's not the middle of the destination, you're at the end, but you feel like you're in the middle because it's so unknown. But you're in this part of your growth where you've already sprouted out of the ground, and now maybe even a leaf is coming out or something like that, because you would just have a little bit more to go before you start seeing the rewards, the blessings come in. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy for you, and I cannot wait to see what you're up to next time. So if you would like to donate, my Cash App is at Cosmicfractaloflight. You can email me at cosmicfractaloflight@gmail.com. If you'd like to book a one-on-one session or a reading, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Cosmic Fractal of Light, and I'll see you in the next one.